reserved to Philadelphia. Game 2 of the series. Citizens Bank Park the scene. The Padres and the Phillies. Well, the Phillies' home yard is a home run haven. 2 left the park last night. Upton for San Diego. And Bills catcher Cameron Rupp, a 3-run shot that sealed a 7-1 Philadelphia win. The Padres welcome back their top RBI producer, Matt Kemp, who's been out of the lineup the last 2 nights with a sore shoulder. He's back in there hitting the familiar 3 spot. That only helps the Padres, his RBI bat, but makes all those around him in the lineup better. As we welcome you on this Saturday afternoon in San Diego to Philadelphia with Mark Sweeney for Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. We're pleased you're with us. We're going to see a couple of 25-year-olds on the mound. Colin Ray makes his first road start.
What an opportunity for Colin Ray. He had his first 3 starts at Petco Park. Now he has to check the box and pitch on the road. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles this. Watch his secondary stuff tonight. That's going to be very important for him to pitch deeper in the ball game. But I'm excited for Colin Ray and this opportunity.
And for the Phils, they too send a 25-year-old to the mound, a left-hander. Padres don't see many of those. Adam Morgan, he beat San Diego 4-2 at Petco.
Adam Morgan looked very good and very comfortable at Petco Park. Now, that being said, he gives up the long ball. The last time out against the Mets, 3 2/3, and he gave up 4 long balls. That has a lot to do with his secondary stuff. He hasn't been locating that. It'll be interesting to see how the Padre hitters do that tonight.
He's allowed more home runs than games pitched, 13 homers in 11 games. Let's see if the Padres can go deep tonight and win the second game of this 3-game series. We're pleased you're with us on a Saturday in Philadelphia. Padres baseball coming up. by Sony Action Cam. Prove yourself. By Petco. What we feed them matters. And by Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you could save. Well, it was rocky for the Padres last night. 1 run and only 2 hits in the Philadelphia 7-1 victory. The weather a bit warmer today in Philadelphia, currently at 85 degrees, with the temperature going up for tomorrow as we welcome you aboard. Middle game of the 3-game series, and here's the Padres lineup, brought to you by Toyota. Padres juggling things around again to get Matt Kemp in the lineup. Jan Solarte will lead it off. Then Jed Jerko hits second tonight. Then Kemp and Upton, their usual spots. Derek Norris will bat 5th. Yonder Alonso, Melvin Upton Jr. 7th. Then Clint Barmas, the veteran shortstop, and Colin Ray.
Let's take a look at the scouting report by Adam Morgan of the Philadelphia Phillies. He has struggled with his secondary stuff, especially the curveball and changeup. He has a slider to go along with that. And also the Padres need the middle of the field approach, especially in this hitter's ballpark. You can hit it out of anywhere here.
Morgan, great success against left-handed hitters, but right-handers have beaten him up, hitting .290 collectively and 12 home runs in his previous 11 starts. So the scene is set under basically clear skies in Philadelphia, no threat of weather. Jan Solarte and the rest of the Padres will hit from that right side. Only Yonder Alonso, the left-handed bat, in the lineup tonight. Morgan ready, and our first pitch of the game is in there for a strike. 88 on a fastball.
Well, it's not velocity with the fastball. He has to be pinpoint in San Diego. He pitches both to his arm side and his glove side. He'll go into the righties.
89 on that delivery, 1-1. He's from Marietta, Georgia, Morgan, and the University of Alabama. Oh, that one hit Solarte, and that didn't feel good at all. The sound alone didn't sound like ball against flesh, but ball against bone. Let's see where it hit him. Might have been in the knee. No, he's looking down at his instep.
Let's take a look at it. Looks like that front foot right at the toe, and if you take a listen to it.
That wasn't muted at all. That's when you're hitting right on something solid. See if Solarte continue.
I wonder if that was a tight slider that he did not pick up, and when it is released on that glove side, you pull it a little bit and right off his toe. Not feeling good. That'll slow down Solarte.
It's like when you go to the shoe store for a new pair and you want a size 11 and he comes out with an 8, says this fits just right, and you walk around in the room and hobble. I said, I don't think so. Well, this gives us a chance to introduce the umpiring crew. Andy Fletcher will be calling the balls and strikes with Jordan Baker at first, Paul Emmel at second, and crew chief Jerry Meals will guard third. Still talking to Solarte, Jose Valentin, the first base coach, but all is well enough. And that'll bring up second baseman Jed Jerko. Jerko enters the game tonight with 10 home runs this year. Playing more and more shortstop, but second base tonight. See if the Padres can take advantage of that leadoff man on. Ball 1. Matt Kemp will follow Jerko, and I would think that Jerko would like hitting second.
Yeah, and it's a really good spot to hit, especially having Matt Kemp in that lineup. You saw Justin Upton in third last night.
That'll be out of play.
But it is a good position, and typically your leadoff hitter will give you fastballs because of his speed on first base. That's not the case with Solarte, but the presence behind him is very important, and in big situations when they have to throw a strike, you can look fastball and be very sure of that most times.
And Jerko, a fastball hitter, as we know. And the pitch that troubles him most is the breaking ball away from a right-hander. He doesn't have to worry about that tonight with the lefty Morgan on the mound.
Well, Adam Morgan, you can see that move. And for most left-handers, they'll hold the runners by that leg kick, but he doesn't have a very good move, so the Padres can pick their spots tonight.
Just missed that one. Skies it high to left field. Altair, wow, that was way up there. One away. The Philadelphia defense tonight, you've just seen Altair in left field, Herrera in center, and Dominic Brown will be in right. Hernandez and Galvis on the left side. Sweeney and Howard on the right side.
No relation.
You might be a distant cousin. You never know. Rupp behind the plate for Morgan. Matt Kemp back on the lineup. Padres top hitter, 128 hits on the season, and top RBI producer. And takes ball one. He's been on base 17 consecutive games, walks or hits, and that's the longest active streak in baseball at the moment. Bruised his shoulder trying for a diving catch in Washington. Remember the one where he slammed into the turf head first and ate a lot of grass in right field.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Matt swings the bat tonight and see how he can free up that swing with the shoulder issues. But sitting 2 nights, this guy wants to play the game every night.
That's not a very good swing there. 1-2.
If you have shoulder problems or anything with your hands, wrists, a lot of pitchers will try to throw away. That's the longer swing. It's probably the hardest swing for Matt Kemp if he has shoulder issues.
Time called. It's his left shoulder that he bruised and trying for that diving catch. Didn't miss by much. 2-2. A changeup. And sure enough, he's pitching him away, all 4 deliveries.
Well, they saw Morgan earlier at Petco Park. It's going to be interesting because he's been struggling with that breaking stuff. It's a changeup again, and the mentality here pitching at Citizen Bank Park is very different because mistakes can easily be put in the seats.
Justin Upton, who accounted for the only Padre run last night with his 23rd homer, is on deck. Full count.
Looks like they're going fastball away.
And indeed, fouled away by Kemp.
Well, good pitcher's pitch by Adam Morgan. That was actually off the plate, but for Matt Kemp, spoiling it to get another opportunity. Let's see if he gets a mistake here and he can capitalize.
Fly ball shallow center. Herrera gives way to second baseman Sweeney. 2 away. Let's check on our keys to the game tonight. Brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, you got to kick off the offense, and it's been very important for Matt Kemp. He's been hitting .306 since July 17th. He's second half hitter. That's huge. And let's see some long balls. We talked about that earlier. Adam Morgan giving up 4 home runs to the New York Mets his last start, 3 2/3 innings.
Justin Upton lined his 23rd home run into the left center field seats last night. The 23 is significant in that there's not been a Padre outfielder to hit more than 23 since you go back to 2001, 14 seasons. Bubba Trammell hit 25.
Played with Bubba.
90, that's his fastest pitch of the night.
Well, the scary thing is you're living up in the strike zone to Justin Upton, and if he gets on top of that pitch, he has plenty of power to hit it out any part of this ballpark.
sink on that fastball. 1-2. Padres facing another rookie pitcher the last 2 nights. They've had big trouble with Joe Ross and Aaron Nola, getting only 2 runs and 3 hits. Floats one outside, 2-2. Morgan recovering from shoulder surgery, missed all of last year.
And last year, because of that shoulder injury, the decrease in velocity, he was at 93, 94 before those shoulder issues.
Ground ball to third. Deep at third is Hernandez. He'll go the short way. And the Padres gone in the first. Here come the Phillies leading off. Cesar Hernandez. Strike 3 call, and that's on the inside corner. Strike 3.
Oh, look at that hammer.
How about Colin Ray?
And for the first time, Ray, his 4th major league start, pitching away from Petco Park, where he was 2-1 his first 3 decisions. Let's check a look at the Philadelphia lineup, brought to you by Hyundai. Much like last night, Hernandez, Herrera, Altair, Howard, the big left-handed batter that is one of the few familiar names in Philadelphia these days. Sweeney gets a start, just called up from the minors. Dominic Brown, then Rupp, who's on a tear, hottest hitter. Galvis has more hits than any Philly, and yet he's the number 8 batter, and then the pitcher Morgan. Hernandez, switch hitter, and he fouls the first one away. Our scouting report tonight is brought to you by Montalvo.
Well, check another box for Colin Ray. First start on the road, and comes with its struggles, and improved the off-speed pitches. They're both the changeup and the curveball tonight.
1-1 to Hernandez, who enters the game at 265. The speediest of the young Phils, has 19 stolen bases. That's in there. That's an easy 93.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing catch and trusting Derek Norris tonight, which is very important for Colin Ray.
Ground ball to the right side. Churko there on the second hop for the first out. And let's check the Padres defense tonight, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Justin in left, Melvin Upton in center, with Kemp back in right field. Solarte joined by Clint Barmas at shortstop on that left side. Jerko back to second base with Alonso, and Norris behind the plate.
Well, good to see Matt Kemp back in right field after that dive in Washington against the Nationals.
He had played in every game until these two that he had to sit out with that bruised shoulder. I mean, he is a gamer. He wants to be in there.
I'll be quite honest, and you play with all kinds of teams, you're going to see guys that do like to take days off at times to recoup a little bit. Matt Kemp is not that guy. He loves being in the lineup and he loves playing. So when he is out of it, you know he's hurt.
Odubel Herrera, the center fielder, hitting a solid .291. Number 2 in the National League among the rookies in base hits. Matt Duffy of the Giants with more. Two and one to Odubel Herrera. Fouled away.
That's a nice cutter by Colin Ray. That's going to be very important. You've seen early in this game these wants to pitch in. Try not to have these Philadelphia Phillies hitters extend their arms.
Phillies start tonight in last place in the East, 20.5 games out. Padres now are 9.5 back of LA. High chopper, foul past Alonso. Big headlines in the Philadelphia Inquirer sports page today. Alonso in the starting lineup. Yeah, I didn't think he deserved big headlines, banner headlines. It's a different Alonso. Kiko Alonso.
Kiko.
Middle linebacker for the Eagles. We ought to call yonder Kiko. Line drive, Solarte. Oh, he's caught a couple of those in the series. Right at him. Double play last night with the bases loaded. Let's go back to Washington 3 games ago on Wednesday night, trying to make this diving catch.
Well, he did not get a good break at first, and then laying out. The left shoulder is extended. You see that body weight coming down on that shoulder. But a good attempt by Matt Kemp and keeping it in front, but a dangerous dive, especially when you extend those arms.
Grazing in the pasture. Aaron Altair. Folks, there's a man making some history. No one in the history of Philadelphia baseball, as we look at Altair, has started his major league career with 7 hits, all extra bases. And if he should get an extra base hit tonight, no one in Major League history has begun his career with 8 extra base hits.
19 total bases for Altair, and only 7 hits, no singles.
Born in Germany, German father, a soccer star. Drafted in the 9th round 6 years ago. Chase is there, and Ray has his first strikeout and retires the side in order. Good way to open the ball game. No score. On to the second we go.
here at Citizens Bank Park. They're cheering, "We want Travis." In case you didn't know, this is the Travis Jankowski fan section out here at 136. This is the party that actually continued from last night. They were all here for a cousin's wedding, and now 64 of him and a few Freddie Fatheads is what they're calling them, guys. So a blast out here. The good thing about yesterday was the game didn't last too long, and Travis was actually able to make part of his cousin's wedding, spend the last hour with them. So I'm thinking they're going to need to get a pinch hit for Travis later, guys.
Yeah. Love the Fatheads, too. What a group. And they're going to probably get some foul balls down there. Make sure they're ready.
Derek Norris leads off and hits a high fly ball into the deep left field corner. It's got some distance into the corner. Is Altair, but out of play. He's fairly close to where that gang is. Well, you know how those weddings go. You know, afterwards everyone gets to enjoy some fun, and sometimes they last into the wee hours. I think it's going to carry over into tonight's game.
Right? Why not? Continue the celebration.
Norris, there are his numbers on the year with 13 homers. One and one. Not hit that well, and the center fielder Herrera started back, but able to recover and makes the catch. Sounded as if he might have broken his bat. Yonder Alonso checks in. Somewhat shocking that the best batting average for any Padres starter belongs to Alonso, 271. Get into these team slumps the last couple of games. These young pitchers just handcuffing them.
Well, team slumps happen, but you can't add pressure to yourself offensively. You just got to continue to grind out at bats and give your team an opportunity to try to score more runs.
Alonso, the only left-handed hitter to face the lefty Morgan.
And the tendency at times, Dick, is to overswing when things are not going as well, and you can't get out of your comfort zone. Got to do what you typically do. And for Yonder Alonso, that left center swing and using the big part of the field.
1-1. Rarely seeing a left-hander. In fact, if you turn that around, you talk about the Padres starting pitchers. This is their 129th game, all right-handed starters. And you have to go back to 2006 when the Padres again had a dominant right-handed staff. They went 133 games in a row without a left-handed starter. Robbie Erlin finished last year. He pitched in the last game. That's the last southpaw to start for the Padres. Remains 1-2.
It'll be interesting to see moving forward if that is adjusted, because you would typically like to have a lefty in your rotation. Doesn't always happen, but that's something that when you construct a roster, I think every manager would say, yes, I'd love to slot a left-hander, whether he's a...
Saw a fly ball lifted on the left side, and Hernandez squeezes the second out. Well, there's some lineups that are loaded with tough left-handed hitters. You like to be able to bring in a southpaw in some of those games.
Well, you think of Adrian Gonzalez up in LA, and you start with your division and how you can handle that. Cargo from the Colorado Rockies, and also Crawford, Belt for the San Francisco Giants, so why not?
Melvin Upton Jr. 5 home runs, 228 average. Last night Melvin led off, went 0 for 4. And another fly ball. Herrera, he's calling. 3 outs, all in the air. A 1-2-3 inning for Morgan. No score to the bottom of the second. the trade.
You take a look at Jan Hervis Solarte at third base, and they call it the hot corner because you're going to get some action. Big double play last night. You could see on our Fox Vision him turning two, which was huge for Ian Kennedy moving forward. But he's been involved with a lot of hot smashes down there this whole road trip.
That was a big play because the bases were loaded with one out. Esquina Caliente, the hot corner.
Yes, nice.
We were in Havana last year, and in the park across from the hotel, the Esquina Caliente, the hot corner club, and the men that love baseball would gather. There'd be 15, 20 of them. They just talk over baseball.
Nice. Love that.
Ryan Howard leads off the second for the Philadelphia Phillies. Veteran hitting .242, but the top home run and RBI producer, and against the Padres, 57 games now, .309 average, and 11 home runs, 52 RBIs and 64 hits.
Well, hasn't been the same guy since the Achilles injury, but he still is a run producer. And the reason for that, his power is to left center. Has strong hands, and you're seeing him set his front foot early to try to eliminate a lot of the timing aspects of his swing.
Here's a startling statistic. Here's a cleanup hitter. Usually those big guys in the middle of the lineup, they are walked a lot. Well, he's been up 421 times. He's walked 24 times.
Yeah, he's swinging the bat.
You throw it 3 feet outside, 3-2. He's going to take a cut. Didn't want to be walking. Yeah, he did take a pitch there away. 2-2. Howard, then young Darnell Sweeney, and Dominique Brown here in the second for Philadelphia. He's now 35 years of age. 9 years ago was the National League Most Valuable Player. A lot of his friends are gone from that team.
And you see the shift on the right and short right field for Jed Jerko. Saw the pitch previous for Colin Ray, and they're setting up inside tonight as we take a look at Jed Jerko in short right. But for Colin Ray to throw inside, if you're going to miss, you have to miss in off the plate. Not have that two-seamer run over the middle of the plate. That could do some damage here.
Nice size, 6'5" and 220 Colin Ray. Two balls and 2 strikes. Line drive beats the shift. The one hopper to Kemp and right. First hit of the ball game. Ryan Howard.
Well, too many elevated pitches to Ryan Howard, and he made an adjustment, hitting over the shift and in between Jed Jerko and Matt Kemp. But setting his foot early, and you see that balance and power in that swing. He just had some topspin on that ball.
And that brings up second baseman Darnell Sweeney. Just 10 at bats for him, a couple of hits. And he hits that ball deep to left center. Melvin Upton going back, and that ball is gone. A home run haven indeed. Sweeney has 3 hits since being recalled. 2 of them are home runs. And the Phillies take a 2-0 lead. You sure he's not related?
No relation. He's got pop. Well, it's a nice swing, and he gets that elevated fastball, goes the other way. That's a nice approach to use against Colin Ray. Just into the first row in left center field.
That ball is not a home run in most every major league park, but here those are short distances into the alleys. So single Howard, home run Sweeney, and the Phils are on the board first. Here's Dominic Brown. Breaking ball moved low and inside. Two and 0. 3-0. That ball hit well and slicing up the gap in left center. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Brown to second and will hold there as the relay comes in. Single home run double for the Phils here in the second, greeting Colin Ray.
Well, again, elevated pitches by Colin Ray, and you're getting behind these Philadelphia Phillies hitters. At this level, they will expose you. Philadelphia Phillies are coming out swinging tonight, especially on mistakes.
That brings Darren Bowlesley, the pitching coach for the Padres, to the mound. Boy, it is amazing the percentage, how it improves for the hitter when the pitches are above the belt, not below. And when they're below, it's a different game.
Well, it's an easier adjustment to make for a lot of the hitters, but for Colin Ray, just getting on top of those pitches and can't force it down. It's so important to not be timid, especially at this ballpark, just because of the size.
Cameron Rupp has been red hot this month of August, hitting .340, 6 home runs. One of those last night, a 3-run shot. He goes around on that check swing. Let's check our top tier Arco profile. Rupp, 10-game hitting streak, .412 batting average, 4 homers and 12 runs batted in.
Well, he's made the most of his opportunity and sat on a breaking ball last night by Despaigne.
0-2 the count
for one of those 4 home runs.
7 now on the season. His play has been improved so much this year that veteran Carlos Ruiz, the catcher, has had to take a piece of pine. No one out, 2 runs home here in the second for Philadelphia. We mentioned a couple of nights ago, Ray, even though he's now with the big club, honored by the Texas League as one of their postseason All-Stars. One of 2 Padre farmhands.
Let's see if they try to tie him up again with that fastball in and get it a little bit deeper inside.
And that one hit him on the hand. Somehow it doesn't hurt so much when you hide your hand behind your back. Those are never good for the hitter, so he fills the void at first. 2 on if no one out.
I wondered at first glance if this was off the bat. Yeah, it looked like he actually fouled that pitch off. To me, he's shaking his bottom hand. It looked like it was up just a little bit. And his reaction shows definitely that it wasn't a Bryce Harper reaction that we saw in Washington, D.C.
He says he's okay. First and second, and Freddie Galvis, the shortstop, steps up. 20th pitch of the inning coming up from Colin Ray. He doesn't have an out yet. Galvis hitting .248 from the left side, .322 as a right-handed hitter. That comes out total at .266. A ball and a strike to the Philly shortstop. That's a soft fly ball to center. Upton able to run it down for the first out. And it'll bring up pitcher Adam Morgan. And time for a moment in Padres history, brought to you by Geico. We go all the way back to 1970. The Padres set a record for the most runs scored against these Phillies. Al Bull Ferrara hit 2 homers, and Nate Colbert chipped in with another. Padres beat the Phillies 16-2 at then Connie Mack Stadium.
How about the Bull?
Al Ferrara. Adam Morgan tried to move those runners up. Takes ball 1. He has only 1 hit in 21 at bats. His job is to try to get 2 men in scoring position for leadoff hitter Hernandez.
Well, if you're the corner infielders, you're looking for a bad bunt by Morgan. Trying to nab one of those front runners.
A ball and a strike. Yes, he did. Two on, 1 out, 2 runs in for the Phils here in the second. And foul, strike 3. So 2 away. And to the top of the order is Cesar Hernandez, who grounded out his first time. Get out of the inning with only 2 scoring. It's got to be his goal. 2-run homer by Darnell Sweeney. Brought in Ryan Howard, who singled to start this inning. Barmas with the flip, and the inning is over. But the 2-run shot, Darnell Sweeney gives the Phillies the early lead, 2-0. Today, Austin Hedges gets in some extra tutoring, working on his throws to the various bases. Justin Hatcher with Glenn Hoffman serving as the hitter.
Constantly getting a feel for Austin Hedges, throwing to all bases, which is important. You see Glenn Hoffman, the third base coach, being the batter in those situations, changing sides, how you're going to use your footwork. And for Austin Hedges, very important to stay sharp for his starts in the big leagues. There's Glenn Hoffman.
Working there at third, none better.
The staff is tirelessly working at improving this club at all times. Early, they get here early, and they leave late.
We'll probably see Hedges in the starting lineup a day game tomorrow. Clint Barmas leads off the Padre third. Then it'll be pitcher Ray and leadoff hitter Solarte. Checked his swing. Barmas, like the pitcher behind him, Colin Ray, both spent 1 year of baseball at Indiana State. The Sycamores. Off the head of the bat, and good play made by Morgan before it hit the second time. One away to pitcher Ray. Ray has one hit in 4 at-bats, remember, in his debut. Picked up a base hit. Padres trying to snap a 6-game losing streak here in Philadelphia. Popped up. Back of home plate. Rupp. Oh, just over the screen into the first row. St. Louis blanked the Giants today. A day game up in San Francisco. 6-0 to the Redbirds. Ground ball foul. Dodgers are underway against, no, they're later against the Cubs in Dodger Stadium, and Arizona later against Oakland.
I continue to be impressed by the St. Louis Cardinals, even though the Padres have played very well at Petco Park, and this team has been dealt with a lot of adversity. No Matt Holliday, Matt Adams is yet to return. No Adam Wainwright. Other injuries, but they continue to win and be the best team in baseball.
Line drive into the left field corner. Colin Ray on his way for 2. Dug out by Altair, and Ray trying to help himself. A ringing double to left field. His second big league hit. First major league extra base hit.
Like some Colin Ray fans, and why not? This is a nice swing, and his first double in the big leagues. He stays on that pitch nicely. Gets through that ball.
First Padre hit against Adam Morgan. You can see the tricky bounce that carried him off that corner wall. Altair making sure it didn't get by him into center field. Solarte back of home plate. Rupp comes back, and he's got to play this time. 2 away. Solarte has not been swinging at the first pitch of late, but does there. So it's up to Jed Jerko, flying to left, his first at bat.
Well, another look at Colin Ray's double, his first double in the big leagues, and the Colin Ray family, his girlfriend, and why not? High fives all around.
And they were out at Petco Park for his debut.
Not his girlfriend, his wife, excuse me. Don't want to get that wrong.
No, wife Megan.
Sorry, Megan.
Well, she once was his girlfriend.
My wife would be mad at me, let alone Megan.
Well, he's not been much faster than 90 miles an hour with the fastball. Not going to overpower you. 1-1.
Well, I think it's what he has to do is use both sides of the plate, but also change speeds, and he's done a nice job early in this game by doing that.
And he's ahead on the count to Jerko, 1-2.
You know, you always know when you're going through frustrations as an offense when you're fouling off good pitches. See Jet Jerko right there. Nice swing, nice aggressive swing on a fastball, but he's fouling it off. You get into those pitchers counts and they can expose a lot of lineups out of the strike zone.
And that's the case now, 1-2. See if Morgan wastes a breaking ball in the dirt. Got him. Back with a slider. Morgan has his first strikeout. The Padres are still scoreless. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Philadelphia. Philadelphia lifetime shortstop, talking with Mark Sweeney before the game about the need for range for a shortstop.
But because of the spray charts and the information the players get now from these various websites, you almost can position yourself when it counts 2-0 on a certain hitter or 1-2 on a certain hitter. So the range factor for me is really out the window. If you use your head and study all those charts that they give you, because there's a lot of information there, you can become a very good shortstop.
Now that is pertinent because the Padres are using Jet Jerko in a few games at shortstop. Admittedly, doesn't have great range, but Boa is saying maybe that doesn't make a big difference.
Well, I'll first say Larry Boa knows because he played the position at an elite level and also knows how to teach when it comes to the big leaguers. He's very good at that. But yes, when you put Jet Jerko over there, the first thing you think about is range at shortstop. He has the arm, has the hands, but if you are going to shift and you're going to be able to position these guys correctly because of the stats, it makes a lot of sense that you don't need a lot of range, even though that does help at that position.
Yeah, you don't want to take it away, but if you don't have it, Clint Barmas doesn't have great range. But if you play with your head and with all the shifts with 3 on one side, 1 on another, it isn't quite as important. Often your shortstop is on the right side. There's Barmas, just, not a lot of range, but he knows what he has, gets the ball and throws it all in one motion.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with your first step, and that when you're talking about Clint Barmas, he understands reading swings in the hitting zone, and that's exactly what he does on this play. And it was really a good play because you can see the ball hit off to his right, but the quick release, getting the ball to Yonder Alonso. At shortstop, you have to be going to your right. You have to have arm strength to get it all the way across the diamond.
Odubel Herrera runs well to make it a challenging play, but it turned over by Barmes. One away, and here's Aaron Altair. Struck out swinging his first time. Again, he's going for an all-time major league record to start a big league career with 8 consecutive extra base hits. This will be an out. Kemp making the catch for the second out. Brings up Ryan Howard. Now, who are the top sluggers in the National League to the moment? Bryce Harper and Carlos Gonzalez has had a torrid couple of months now. When we saw him, he could barely get the ball out of the infield with teammate Arenado just a home run behind Frazier, and then Giancarlo Stanton with 27. He hasn't played in, what, 6 weeks?
Well, I think Stanton is the premier home run hitter in the game of baseball today, but Bryce Harper, to me, has had the greatest year. You see the 2 Rockies. Yes, you're going to have home runs there at Coors Field. Pretty interesting list.
Justin Upton not quite making that list with 23 homers. Whoa, line drive, and the shift takes a base hit away from Howard as Solarte, playing on the second base side, makes the catch. 3 in the books, 2-0. He's enjoyed hitting here at Citizens Bank Park in his career. As you can see, 3rd best average of any opposing batter at .383 behind Braun and Fielder.
Yeah, those impressive numbers no matter where you play, and you see those numbers a lot for Matt Kemp, and he has been a much different hitter in this second half.
Popped up to second base his first time. Padres need a couple to tie as we go to action in the 4th. Adam Morgan allowing only 1 hit, the double by pitcher Colin Ray. Well, in San Diego, Morgan the winner 4-2. 6 innings, allowed just 1 earned run, 6 hits. The Padres have seen him, and it's gone through the order once now. Let's see if they can figure a way to muster a few hits and score some runs. They've gone 22 innings now, counting Washington and the opener last night, and scored 3 runs and only 5 hits in 22 innings. Most RBIs in the National League. Paul Goldschmidt 4 ahead of Arenado. McCutchen is in the picture along with Posey, and then Kemp is 5th. Ground ball left side, and Galvis able to range. And he pulls the throw. And Howard had to leave the bag, and safe at first is Kemp. That'll be a throwing error on Freddie Galvis.
Looked like Galvis had to take an extra step, which really threw off his motion. And this is a hard throw to make. You have to turn your body. But you see Matt Kemp getting down the line just under the wild throw. Ryan Howard not being able to apply the tag.
Let's see if that helps the Padre cause here as they have the leadoff man on in a 2-0 game. Justin Upton grounded to the third baseman his first time. Center field and caught. Boy, that ball was knuckling out there, and Herrera stayed with it. He flattened the ball Upton on that swing. One away. Looking out at the center fielder saying, how in the world did you get to that? Well, you almost hit it too hard, Justin. Norris steps up. He flied to center his first time. First baseman, they're conversationalists. Kemp goes. Throw by Rupp, not in time. Now Matt Kemp steals his 10th base of the year. Picked a good spot, didn't he?
Well, again, we talked about Morgan not having a great move, and going on the first move is Matt Kemp and sliding in the back part of that base. You can see him with a good jump. Then Rupp with a good throw, and he is in time before that Sweeney tag.
Good low slide. Gets that right foot right on the sack. So man in scoring position for the Padres, trying to cut into that Philly 2-0 lead. Saw Rupp indicating going through a series of signs now with Kemp there at second base peeking in. 1-1. It's a pretty slide, isn't it?
Yeah, you look at the slide too, and you made a good point, Dick. That right foot getting on the bag, and so many times we see with the replay now, guys sliding in, and that front foot goes over the bag, and they apply the tag. Well, replay, a lot of times they're out because they come off the bag.
A ball, 2 strikes to Norris.
You know, it might be a minor detail, but it's a fundamental that you have to implement, especially with the replay these days.
That's why some of them like to slide head first. A little easier to grab the bag with the hand, but you also risk wrist and finger injuries. Stays at 1-2. Yonder Alonso would be next. Got him off speed. Second strikeout for Adam Morgan. Brings up Yonder Alonso.
Well, got him guessing on the fastball, and he throws the curveball. It drops it right on that outside part of the plate. Watch how far in front he is. You could see that head moving forward. That'll indicate he was guessing on that fastball.
Alonso popped to third his first time. chance to pick up his 30th run of the season. Goes around 0-2.
So Yonder exposed on that outside part of the plate, and that bat head definitely goes.
Morgan is one of 4 absolute rookies, all of them coming up after the season began to form the rotation now for Philadelphia. And we're going to see another make his major league debut tomorrow. Alec Asher came over in the Cole Hamels trade from Texas. Just outside 1-2.
Well, his first at bat against Yonder Alonso, he fouled the ball in. As you see, Bob McClure, the pitching coach of the Philadelphia Phillies, he will stress pitching in. You have to expose both sides of the plate.
Line drive left field. That's going to score a run. Here comes Kemp. Here comes the throw to the plate. Going to be close. Oh, can't handle the throw. The catcher Rupp, or he'd have gotten him. And on to second goes Alonso. It's 2-1 as Alonso delivers. Boy, left fielder Altair got on it in a hurry, and his throw on an awkward hop, and Rupp unable to catch it cleanly.
Oh, you see the throw by Altair, and it's a talented young man. He throws a strike. Rupp cannot pick it cleanly because this is on the third base dugout side. Very tough play for the catcher in trying to apply the tag. Matt Kemp goes by home plate and goes back and tags home.
Yeah, he'd have been the goner on a good throw or a good catch. Throw was off the plate. And Alonso has his 30th RBI and into scoring position on the play at the plate. Chance for Melvin Upton Jr. to tie it up. That'll be, of course, an unearned run as Kemp reached safely on the throwing error by Galvis. Center field, and Herrera can't get there. Here comes the run around third, Alonso, and he just does make it in time. Oh my. Alonso at the last minute slapping his left hand on the plate, and it's tied at 2. Another good throw by the Philadelphia outfielder. Herrera's throw on the money, and Alonso running all the way with 2 outs.
Well, here he is coming in. Watch that left hand tag the back part of home plate. Nice slide by Yonder Alonso. That sliding lane, as you can see, Rupp has to give, and a nice job by using that hand on the back part of the plate.
So the Padres getting an extra out here in the 4th inning, have scored 2 to tie it. And here comes Bob McClure, the former left-hander, pitching coach, to talk with Adam Morgan. Hitter will be Clint Barmas. Credit Melvin Upton with his 14th run batted in of the season.
You go back to that error by shortstop Galvis on Matt Kemp. Let's go back and take a look at Melvin Upton Jr.'s swing and handling that outside part of the plate. This is off the end of the bat, but nice approach using the center of the field. And scoring Yonder Alonso from third. Having to be aggressive with 2 outs.
Being able to take off at the crack of the bat, Alonso just does beat the throw. Boy, both Altair and Herrera showing good arms. They've added another error as you go back to the Alonso base hit that scored Matt Kemp. They're going to charge Rupp with an error, not fielding the throw cleanly. So 2 errors in the inning, helping the Padre cause. It's 2-2, and Barmas is the batter. Upton, good base runner. threat to steal. Has 7 steals so far.
Well, we talked about the pickoff move by Morgan. You got to try to make him step off with that back foot and show it to you. And he has not shown that yet. So what that means is Melvin Upton Jr. can go on first move a lot easier against a left-hander. See Ryan Howard off first base trying to create that throwing lane in case he goes on first move. And
here he goes. And Howard's throw to second is not in time. Upton had such a big jump. By the time the relay pitcher, first baseman, to the shortstop, and Upton's speed carries him in safely.
Well, I love the aggressiveness by the San Diego Padres. And watch this. Morgan does not have a good move. It takes time to throw to first base. And on first movement, sliding in. Ryan Howard tries to create that lane. Melvin Upton slides right in on that back part of the base.
Steal number 8 for Upton. So the Padres with a chance to take the lead now. Barmas takes a ball, first base open. Colin Ray, the pitcher, next, but he doubled his first time.
What a perfect scenario to, with 2 outs, to be aggressive for the Padres.
Chop to short. Galvis charging and throws him out by a strike. 2 unearned runs as the Padres get to on 2 hits, 2 Philly errors, and a man left at second. Halfway mark in the 4th. 2.
And Colin Ray comes from Cascade, Iowa. We met his family a couple starts ago when they came out for his major league debut. And they own a farm up there in Cascade, and during the off season, Colin goes out and helps his family with the farm. He says there's not as much to do during the winters. A lot of the time it's just fixing the broken machinery. But everyone up in Cascade now, when they're not on the road watching Colin, they have a shed there, and his dad went and got a projector and a projector screen, and they all sit around in the shed in Cascade and cheer on Colin. So for all the Ray family and friends, we say hello.
All right, Chris, man, that brings back memories. Yeah, gather around the old stove in farmland. Talk about the corn and soybean crop and watch your kid play Major League Baseball.
You didn't have a projector, did you?
No, we had black and white radio. But we would find a long extension cord to take it out to the barn when we were working in, say, the October, the World Series. And while we were unloading apple crates to get ready for the apple picking season, listen to the games on radio, use our imagination.
I like it.
So a 2-2 tie as the Padres take advantage of some loose defensive play. 2-hopper out to Jerko, and Sweeney with the 2-run home run for the Philly runs back in the second inning is out. That'll bring up Dominic Brown, double to left center.
Well, Colin Ray has done a nice job making adjustments. I know the Ray family is watching, and to make adjustments in this game, you could see him locating his pitches much better, changing speeds, but also pitching in.
Well, you go through the years, you Padre fans, and there have been places where the Padres have suffered. It just seems you can't win a game against certain teams, and you wonder all time who has been the toughest. The Giants, Arizona's always been a nightmare. Well, we're going to give you the answer to that tantalizing question. 2-0 to Brown.
Well, there's the cutter inside, and you've seen him on a 2-0 count. Brown hit it 3-0 count the last time up for his double, but you see Colin Ray making the adjustments of going inside. Now he exposes that outside corner.
Breaking ball misses low and in. 3-1. Cameron Rupp, the catcher, will follow. And that'll send it to a full count.
Really hard to stay inside that cutter. It looks like a fastball out of the hands and just goes off the barrel.
Well, the duel between Colin Ray and hitter Dominic Brown, who's going to come out the winner here. 3-2 again. Inside, ball 4. That's the first walk from Colin Ray. Well, who has been toughest on the Padres franchise? Tonight's Cold Hard Facts gives you the answer, brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light. Look at the Phillies, over 700%.
I would have said Cardinals. Also the Dodgers, I would have probably chose. Philadelphia Phillies and that success.
No one close to the Phillies. 54-23.
Well, and as you said, Dick, this is Citizens Bank Park was opened in 2004, but also Petco Park.
And since just 2010, the Phillies are 28-11. A 2-2 tie tonight. Cameron Rupp hit by a pitch the first at bat. Takes a strike. Fastball at 92. He got a hanging curve from Despaigne last night and planted it way back in the left field bleachers.
Cameron Rupp has hit into 4 double plays, and for Colin Ray, try to get off that barrel, induce that ground ball with 1 out. Let's see if he goes to the cutter.
That's well out of play. Well, Michael Odino, our director, sent along our sympathies and best wishes to Michael as he's back for a family funeral. And Mike Bird is come down from Portland to be our director, and boy, he hasn't missed a beat. He's done a great job.
Thank you, Mike, and all of the crew in the truck.
Strike 3, and Rupp caught looking. There's the pitch at the knees, and the third strikeout for Colin Ray.
Well, again, you pitch inside and you expose so many options, and this is pulled right into that inside corner. That's a nice pitch. I don't know why Rupp is complaining about that.
You saw it pass right over the knee. Here's Freddie Galvis flying to center his first time. Galvis error in the top half of the inning to open the action against Matt Kemp. And door open, the Padres able to pick up a couple of unearned runs to tie it. Slider 1-1. That split finger grip before he puts the ball in his glove from.
Yeah, a lot of pitchers will do that because they don't want to adjust to that pitch.
Galvis almost walked into that one.
Well, I see the last pitch. This is what I love, and moving and making them uncomfortable. And for Colin Ray to make adjustments, he's been using that cutter a little bit more, but that's a four-seam fastball to make Galvis uncomfortable.
Keeping an eye on Dominic Brown. Has only 3 steals this year. Hit well to center. Upton on his horse. Can he get there? No, it's up against the boards, and running all the way is Dominic Brown. Here comes the relay to the plate. He's in there, and the Phils regain the lead 3-2. Galvis atoning for his error with an RBI double.
Well, you see Melvin Upton, and he plays a shallow center field, which comes into play here. And it's a small ballpark, so center fielders will tend to be shallow, and this ball is hit over his head. Now, that being said, you have to understand that you have to locate down in the strike zone. You see Freddie Galvis getting that pitch up in the strike zone, but the tendency is to play shallow at a smaller ballpark.
So a 2-out run scored, the walk and the double. And pitcher Adam Morgan, the batter, he struck out trying to bunt. Yeah, there are the little things about this game that are very important. One is you have an inning, top of the inning, get a couple of runs, back even. That's when you want to hold and give your chance the next inning to maybe take the lead, but the Phils take advantage here in the 4th, and they're back on top 3-2. Goes around 0-2. Three runs, 4 hits for Philadelphia. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Padres. Back through the middle, and Morgan dribbles one to center field, and here comes Galvis to score. Oh my. Morgan with only 1 hit all year in 22 at-bats, chops one over the mound, and it's 4-2.
Well, I know Colin Ray is frustrated because he is in good fielding position. This ball is hit back, and the reaction time is not very good for Colin Ray, and the frustration is added. The pitcher adds a little bit of offense.
He looked terrible on the previous swing, but able to make contact, you're dangerous. Cesar Hernandez, the leadoff man, has grounded out twice. First major league RBI for Adam Morgan. One and one.
Well, that's the best breaking ball that Colin Ray's thrown in a while. A lot of them have been easy takes, and they've been pulled to his glove side. See the defense shifted over. Melvin Upton is in that left side of second base. You see Colin Ray, and I think that he's done some really nice things tonight with the cutter. Also pitching both in and out, but a lot of the pitches are at that belt level. And you can't do that at this level. There's too many good hitters that will capitalize on mistakes, especially when you miss location. And that's what's happened tonight for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Breaking ball bounces in. Full count.
If you're picking up that breaking ball early, you can see the easy take.
So Morgan over at first. Alonso plays behind him, so he'll take off with the pitch. Jerko will flip it to Barmas for the out, and the inning comes to an end, but 2 more for the Phils, and they now lead 4-2. All right, Mike, thanks for that report. Top of the 5th, 4-2 now. The Phillies, and Ray, who doubled into the left field corner the first time, leads it off. Well, Washington then has a chance to move within 5.5 with a win tonight, with the Mets losing. And they lead at Miami in the 5th inning, 2-0.
Well, so many great things have gone the way of the New York Mets, and you would think they're just going to go back on in the pack, but the Washington Nationals have to play more consistent baseball.
1-2 to Ray. 2 hits in his 5 major league at bats. Opposing pitcher Adam Morgan with an RBI single in the last of the 4th. So Morgan now against the Padres has gone 10 innings, allowing 1 earned run. Did he go? 2-2. Center field. Herrera another chance, and he had to go back on the ball. Ray making good contact again. 1 away. Well, let's check around the Major League Baseball. New York Mets apparently have acquired right-handed reliever Addison Reed from the Diamondbacks, pending a physical. Lance Lynn was the shutout artist in San Francisco today. 6-0 Cardinal win, and that Toronto lineup is unbelievably powerful. Edwin and Carnacion,
3 home runs today, 9 runs batted in, 15-1. The Jays beat the Tigers.
Yeah, that offense is very dangerous for the Toronto Blue Jays, and acquiring Troy Tulowitzki, but also adding David Price as the #1 starter.
I mean, how strong is a lineup when Tulowitzki hits leadoff? Solarte with a fly ball right at Altair in left field for the second out. How about our National University standings? We're going to check on the American League East tonight. And Toronto with a 2-game edge over the Yankees. Baltimore and Tampa Bay 9.5 out, but still in the wild card picture. And Boston 13 back, though 9 games under 500.
It's going to be interesting how the Yankees respond, and if they have enough pitching to respond to the Toronto Blue Jays. Still have home and home series as well.
Jerko has flied out and struck out.
That's what I love about the last month. You see those matchups, the division matchups, and how important those games are down the stretch.
Line drive, but foul. Yankees are leading at Atlanta 1-0 in the 5th tonight.
I'd just like to see Major League Baseball change the rules when it comes down to September call-ups.
I know what you're going to say, and I agree already.
Yeah, and I just think that there has to be a set roster. And I really do believe it has to be an even playing field, because if you think about how many guys you can bring up, if you're the New York Yankees, I don't think you worry about how many guys on the 40-man roster you're going to bring up, and you can apply that to winning baseball games.
I mean, you literally could expand your roster to the full 40.
Yes.
There ought to be, I mean, 5 would be a fair number, wouldn't
I
it?
think so, yes. I think you could add a couple relievers, add an outfielder, an infielder, maybe possibly a catcher, but 5 extra guys, and you have to designate those guys every single night in September.
Yeah, you could bring up 10, but every night you have to say this is our roster of 30.
Those other guys aren't available. Just a suggestion. But I think it has to be altered for an even playing field.
3-2 now. Jerko with 2 outs, bases empty. Padres trail by a couple. Matt Kemp on deck.
You've seen some good swings by Jed Jerko, aggressive swings. Yes, you're seeing foul balls at times, but continuing to see a progression of him shortening his swing. At the beginning of the year, you saw a lot of swing and miss, and now you're seeing him right on it, and the timing is there.
Kemp waits his turn. A chopper to third, short hop, nicely fielded by Hernandez. And the Padres go in order in the 5th. Halfway mark in this one. 4.5 in the books. Hall of Fame Phillies in the Philadelphia Philly Hall of Fame. And of course, Mike Schmidt, not only a Phil's Hall of Famer, but a Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Famer. And he's now a weekend broadcaster. There's Mike for the Phil's TV network, working with Tom McCarthy. I mean, his numbers, you could argue he's the best third baseman in baseball history.
I agree with you.
548 homers. He won 6 Silver Slugger awards. What people forget, he could handle a defensive position. He had 10 Gold Gloves.
Yeah. An icon here in Philadelphia, and always great to see the history of the game.
Ground ball right at Jerko, and Herrera's out. One away here in the 5th inning. Phil's lead 4-2. People think and remember him as the all-time third baseman home run hitter, but 10 Gold Gloves to go with it. That's a pretty complete package.
Well, he was the hits leader until Jimmy Rollins passed him last year in a classy moment. If you remember him going out and applauding Jimmy Rollins for his career.
Yeah, you played the Phillies in his day. You knew you were going to have to get him out somewhere.
Exactly right.
Wasn't easy. Aaron Altier, he struck out and flied to right. Lanky basketball build. He's 6'5". And there's the single. So that ends the string of 7 straight extra base hits. That's still the only man in Philadelphia history to do that, breaking in as a major leaguer. And he's 1 for 3 tonight. Ryan Howard, we talk about great careers. He comes up with 1 out, 1 on. 1,447 games, almost a hit per game. Average lower, but power's there, 355 homers.
And I think those homers would be increased with that Achilles injury that he's gone through. Anytime you have a lower half injury and you don't have your base, very difficult. And he's been trying to get back to that feel that he had before the injury.
Runner goes. Norris's throw too late. Karams away from Solarte and into shallow left. He's going to try to score. Here's Upton's throw, and he is out of there. Good hustle by Upton, charging in from left field to back up the play, because you don't expect the ball to carry him in that direction on a wild throw to second. Usually it goes into center field, but Upton pounced on it and denied. A very risky play by Altier. He runs well. Good throw, but Norris took the blunt of it.
You see the throw, and it ricochets off Altier. And yes, Justin Upton comes in. He barehands this and makes a nice, accurate throw. And credit Derek Norris receiving that throw and applying the tag. As outfielders, you're always in the play. You have to anticipate certain ricochets and things happening, and Justin Upton did that.
That denies the Phils a very important run, so it stays 4-2. Charge Norris with a throwing error and give Altier a stolen base. 0-2 now to Ryan Howard.
Well, when you have a lead, you can take those chances, and you can't fault John Miserock, the third base coach for the Philadelphia Phillies, winding him up in that situation.
Although you could argue that with 1 out, getting to third base gives you a chance to score on an out, and you're risking maybe more than the reward.
Yeah, you have Ryan Howard up, and you have an RBI guy, and I see your point.
But you can never condemn hustle. 0-2. So 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, again, so many times, Dick, and especially the Philadelphia Phillies, teaching moments for a lot of these younger players, playing up here with energy and enthusiasm, but also trying to learn at the big league level.
Shift on here, 1-2. And part of that learning process, and as you've mentioned many times, Mark Sweeney, is knowing the situation. When you're on first base, you've got to anticipate, here are all the things that could happen. Now, what do I do if they do happen? What if Howard singles to left field? Do I try to make it to third on a single? Here's only one out. Maybe that risk, if it's left center field against the throwing arm, maybe I tried that.
You have to play the scoreboard and know the situation. Yes, you have a lead, and you could take opportunities like that, but also knowing that you can add on runs and make it easier for Ryan Howard, a run producer, for you at third base.
Got him swinging. And for Colin Ray, his 4th strikeout. We've completed 5 here at Citizens Park in Philadelphia. And the Phillies denied a 5th run. It stays at 4-2. Brought to you by Sequan Casino. You can play, you can win together in the heart of San Diego. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. That's even better than those Philly cheesesteaks.
Whiz with.
Heart attack on a bun right there. Now this is what I'm talking about. Some short ribs, a little sauce on there on the barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my. Falls right off the bone like eating candy. I'm sounding more and more like Mark Grant every telecast. Thinking of you, Mark, out there in Alpine.
Always.
I bet he's out by the pool having a libation. What do they call it? A social
sparkler?
Yep, that's what he's having. Matt Kemp, Justin Upton, and Derek Norris in the 6th inning. Kemp popped up the first time, safe on Galvis's throwing error. He scored a run in the 4th after stealing a base. Off the fist, that might fall in center field. Herrera has to play it on a hop. Loop single for Matt Kemp. Gets it started here in the 6th inning. Brings up Justin Upton, representing the tying run.
Well, we've seen Matt Kemp pull his hands in. That's exactly what he does here. Love that he used center field because there's a lot of room out there. This falls right in front of Herrera for a leadoff single.
Upton is grounded to third and lined to center. I mean, he barreled one up and flattened the ball the last time. It was just knuckling its way out to center fielder Herrera, who had to come in and make a shoestring catch. Home run last night, number 23. Padres endeavoring to tie it up here in the top of the 6th, trailing 4-2. '80th pitch coming up from young Adam Morgan. Left center field, that's up the alley. Herrera going over though and makes the catch. ran it down, and Kemp has to hustle back to first base. Oh, another well-hit ball off the bat of Justin Upton for naught. 2 times he's lined to center field.
Well, this young man burst on the scene in spring training and caught a lot of the coach's attention by his work ethic and what he will do. This is an infielder turned outfielder. You can see the speed and a nice diving catch. This ball is squared up into the gap. I thought it was to the wall. Herrera makes a game-saving catch right there.
Takes a runaway. With no one out, Upton would have been at second base. Here's Derek Norris. He's flied out, struck out. You'll see outfielders and others second half of the season. Matt Kemp is a good case in point, that will have better offensive statistics after the All-Star break. You don't see many catchers, you can say that about it. The wear and tear of the position, there's no denying it takes a lot out of the athlete.
Well, that's why they have to rely on their work ethic, especially in the offseason. This is a full year sport, whether you're on the field or not. And recuperating with your body, and obviously you take some time off after the season's over. Derek Norris is going to have to take a lot of time off, but building your strength back.
It beats you up behind the plate. 2-0. Rupp out to talk with his 25-year-old left-hander.
Yeah, Morgan's starting to miss his spots, and the Padres have to capitalize on those. They've taken some much better swings in their second and third at bats.
Rupp from the University of Texas going to say roll tide, roll tide. Is that how you say hello down in Alabama?
I don't say hello down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they have Notre Dame fans down in that state too. There's 2 or 3 that I know of.
They're a talented group.
2-0 to Norris. Yeah, the Padres last night against 22-year-old Aaron Nola had just the 1 run in Nola's 7 innings, only 2 hits, the run on Upton's home run. Tonight they have 2 unearned runs into the 6th inning off Morgan. Popped up. Is it going to stay in play? Rupp watches it fall into the crowd. Well, tomorrow our TV time here on Fox Sports San Diego. Final game of the road trip in this 3-game series. James Shields will go for his 10th win for the Padres. And Alec Asher will make his major league debut for Philadelphia. Just called up. Head home and right back to work on Monday night. The Rangers will be in. Hope you made your ticket plans. Rangers come out and welcome Will Venable back. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before the Dodgers are in for 4 next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then if you want a real feast of baseball at Petco, Colorado, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the open day Thursday is the makeup date for the rainout. So 11 games coming up at beautiful Petco Park. 2-2. Kemp with a single at first, 1 out. Philly bullpen is quiet. Breaking ball in on the hand, strike 3. Second time Norris has struck out. 3 total strikeouts for Morgan.
Padre fans, it's time to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag SDDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
I got a feeling we're going to see one of those photos before the evening's over. There's Padre fans. There are lots of them here. Still the tourist season. Folks have come back to this historic city. Alonso knocked in a run with a single his last time. That scored Kemp from second base, with Rupp wobbling the throw from left field. And Alonso scored later on Melvin Upton's single. That ball hit high in the air to left center field, and the ballpark will keep this in play. Herrera makes the catch. His big catch on Upton, a difference maker here in the 6th. It's still 4-2.
Really changed the game in your estimation?
Well, the shift to me, an umpire asked me about that, about the shift. He says, why didn't they do it when you played? And I said, because those guys that hit 3 and 4 in the lineup, they were capable of hitting balls the other way. Willie Stargell, Hank Aaron, Roberto Clemente. They wouldn't allow a shift to happen. They were too good with the bat. And now it seems like hitters are set in their ways, and they want to continuously hit into the shift. And if you're going to do that, and we have all the information, more power to you.
That's great. Good insights from Larry Boa. The shift is working because either hitters are stubborn today or they just don't have the skill to be able to hit the ball the other way. Here's Darnell Sweeney. Hit his second major league home run back in the 2nd inning. He has only 3 hits total. Another youngster as the Phillies rebuild. He's 24 years of age. 13th round pick 3 years ago, Sweeney. Out of Miramar, Florida, and the University of Central Florida.
Jerome Williams gets loose. We saw him last night finish the game. 2nd career save.
Alan Ray falls behind, 3-1. Williams, a starter, relegated to the bullpen. His save last night was only the 2nd of his entire major league career. And a leadoff walk. Tough to defend those. 2nd walk from Ray. Kevin Quackenbush getting ready for the Padres. Well, in the rebuilding of the Philadelphia team, here are the rookies on the roster. Herrera, Rupp, Neris, Morgan, the pitcher. Altair has only played 9 games. Nola got the win last night.
And you talk about the one that really has been opening eyes, Maikel Franco. A fractured left wrist. And that's unfortunate because we saw this young man play. He did not get many hits in San Diego, but good bat speed. And Larry Boa talking about this young talent. It's exactly the first person that he mentioned was Franco.
Hitting .277 with 13 homers and 48 runs batted in. Yeah, he's going to be very good.
You know, and remember, too, Larry Boa has a lot of good perspective on it. He says he has a chance to be a real factor in the game of baseball. And that is probably decided by how he works as Pat Murphy goes out and makes a pitching change.
Dominic Brown scheduled to hit. Leadoff walk to Sweeney to open this 6th inning. And Colin Ray with 91 pitches. And this is as far as he's gone as a Padre in his previous starts, only 3. And a break in the action.
Fox Sports 1 has the game everyone's been waiting for as Jim Harbaugh makes his major Michigan coaching debut when the Wolverines take on the Utah Utes. It's the season's biggest opener, and the only place you can see it is on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Coverage begins Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, sponsored by Geico.
Football season is here. Colin Ray completing 5 innings plus, leaves after 91 pitches. And Kevin Quackenbush out of the bullpen.
44th game for Kevin Quackenbush, and you see this left-right splits. Lefty's a .278 average. Done a nice job against the righties.
Dominic Brown has doubled to left center field and walked. Line foul into the crowd. Now, these 3 young pitchers the Padres have seen the last 3 games, Joe Ross in Washington and Aaron Nola last night, and now Adam Morgan, combined have pitched 19 innings, more than 2 full games, allowing 1 earned run and a total of 7 hits. That's amazing.
Yeah,
young arms.
And listen, let's be honest. The Padres are in a little bit of a funk. They're fouling balls off. They got passive at times. Seeing those balls that are squared up find the gloves of the opposition. And unfortunately for the Padres, they need to make an adjustment offensively, collectively. It's not just individual. And sometimes you slip into that mode. If you look at last night and Aaron Nola, the good breaking ball, but not the velocity on the fastball. Tonight, mistakes thrown by Morgan and not capitalizing offensively. A lot of foul balls tonight.
And it's given up 13 homers in just 11 games. Gave up 3 homers in 3 innings plus to the Mets. Pitching like Steve Carlton. Ray leaves with at least 4 runs to his card. There goes the runner. Norris's throw in time. Good tag made by Solarte on the back of the sliding Sweeney.
Well, Derek Norris had to be quick with this pitch, and it's a good pitch to throw on, but the better tag by Solarte, getting that left arm of Sweeney. Watch a quick throw by Derek Norris. Good feet, and the throw on the second base side, which is very important. Give that infielder an opportunity to tag.
Right up on the left elbow. And now a full count to Brown. So you can complete the book on Ray. 5 innings plus, 4 runs, all earned, 6 hits, 2 walks and a hit batsman, and 4 strikeouts. Center field, innocent, and 1 away. 2 away, rather. And that brings up catcher Cameron Rupp. A double, check that hit batsman, and a strikeout for Rupp tonight. Last night he knocked in 4 runs with a ground ball RBI and a 3-run homer. 10-game hitting streak for the bulky catcher. Wonder if his middle initial is E. Cameron E. Rupp.
He's a big, strong man, and we saw the numbers in his 10-game hitting streak.
'92 thrown right by Rupp. Two bouncer to Alonso. He's going to take it to the bag himself, and that's it for the Phils in the bottom of the 6th inning. After 6, and Philly 4-2 for the home team. Against Colin Ray in the second as Darnell Sweeney, with only 10 at bats, has his second home run. 2-0. Yonder Alonso made it 2-1 with this base hit. Kemp scoring when Rupp drops the throw from left field. And then Melvin Upton ties it with a single to center as Alonso just does get his hand on home plate before the tag. 2-2 tie. But Galvis with a double off the left center field wall to make it 3-2. And then the pitcher, Morgan, off the glove of Ray into center field. An RBI, his first major league run batted in, and a 4-2 score. That's your Harrah's game summary. As Jerome Williams comes in, his numbers are hardly impressive this year.
Well, like you talked about, Dick, having his second career save last night as he finished 2 innings of work, but he's a strike throwing right-hander with a sinker and cutter, and he misses. When he misses, it's on his arm side, and he elevates. Lefties, you see the lefties, 3.09 average.
And ERA over 6. But he retired all 6 men in order last night. Let's see if the Padres can get to him tonight. Upton Jr., then Barmes, and the pitcher's spot in the top of the 7th. Fly ball to left. Altair. It gives way to Herrera. Herrera earning his money tonight. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 putouts for the center fielder. Let's go down to Chris Budden. Chris.
Well, Dick, Will Myers is close to a rehab start. He's going to take some swings on the field tomorrow, and then all of the Padres minor league affiliates are off on Monday, so he will begin a rehab assignment on Tuesday. Now, the minor league system will last until September 8th, but Pat Murphy thinks it may take longer than that for him to get ready, because right now he's working on a 2-handed follow-through, because it was that follow-through where he felt the soreness. Mark Sweeney, from a hitter's position, how hard is that to get adjusted to a new follow-through?
Well, it's a good point, Chris, and it's hard because of what Will Myers is used to, and it's that long release that he has, and it's really a short swing and long through for Will Myers, and it's going to be an adjustment to keep both of those hands on, but really it's shortening his follow through when it comes down to it. But it's important to get some game action and game swings, and what's going to happen is if he doesn't get those games on rehab, we're going to have some inter-squad games up at this level. Maybe bring some minor league pitchers in to face him and get that game speed. I think that's an important thing.
I will say this. I watched him take batting practice last night using that 2-handed on the bat follow through, and he pumps more than 3 home runs. I mean, not just over the left field wall, but way back.
Well, you got to remember, Dick, too, it's not the contact point. It's the swing and miss. It probably is irritating it, because swing and miss usually is an awkward swing at times, but also you're not prepared for that swing and miss. I think that's very important moving forward.
Good point. That hits Barmes, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate. You know, you think about it, you swing and miss, and that puts much more stress on the wrist.
Well, we said the misses are on the arm side, and Jerome Williams peppers that elbow of Clint Barmes on that left arm.
Takes one for the team. Brings up pinch hitter Brett Wallace. Wallace has done an excellent job in this role.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
McClure, the pitching coach, going over how they want to pitch to Brett Wallace, who has 9 pinch hits and 29 at bats, a couple of those home runs. He's knocked in 7 runs.
He's done a nice job off the bench, and also against left-handers. He has competed in the batter's box. That's a perfect situation for Pat Murphy to insert his #1 pinch hitter
against Williams, who will throw some long ones. There are his overall numbers. He started a handful of games. That is primary role. This one, pinch hit. 1 out. Varmus hit by a pitch at first base. Tying run at the plate here in the 7th. Two and 0.
You see Wallace hunting that fastball and seeing it up, trying to elevate it, but he looked like he was locked into that #1 fastball.
He's immensely strong, Brett Wallace. Off speed, a slider. Sean Kelly is working in the Padre pen. And Luis Garcia getting ready for Philadelphia, right-hander. There's Kelly. Bullpens here, it's interesting, they're on 2 different floors. The bottom floor belongs to the Phillies, then upstairs are the Padres.
And upstairs from that are the fans heckling you, which adds a different element.
Line drive, base hit. Wallace delivers again. So 2 on with 1 out. Top of the order, and Jan Solarte.
Well, you know I love this, Dick, and coming off the bench and being prepared and trusting your work before the game. And you see Brett Wallace getting that foot down and controlling that balance through the baseball. And again, the miss by Williams is elevated. Brett Wallace goes the other way. That's a nice, pretty swing by Brett Wallace. Yeah, why not smile? He's been awesome off the bench.
So he represents the tying run in this 4-2 game. Varmus moves up to second. And Jan Solarte hits left-handed for the first time, batting right-handed, as it has been all season long, not as effective as a left-handed hitter, and he went 0 for 2 against Morgan. Now to his better side, let's see if he can deliver. Hitting .272 as a left-handed batter on the year. Taking all the way. 8 of his 10 home runs from the left side. High fly ball to right. Brown easing back. Right at the wall. Tagging Varmus, he'll advance to third. 2 away.
You saw the reaction of Yangervis Solarte just missing that, popping up a lot of balls, but that ball goes all the way to the wall, where Dominic Brown catches it right at the base of the wall. Just missing that pitch by Solarte.
That'll bring up Jed Jerko. 0 for 3 tonight. A fly out, ground out, and a strikeout. Solarte could taste that one. He thought that was going to go all the way.
This game could be so frustrating at times. You feel good and you just miss baseballs.
Yeah, when you're frustrated, nothing better than closed captioning by Wiener Schnitzel. I don't know if our guys are eating enough of those, huh? First and third, 2 outs to Jerko. Here's the man the Padres want to get around, Wallace from first base to tie it up.
You see Dave Roberts, the bench coach, and Pat Murphy possibly wanting to see if they can get a pinch runner in there for Brett Wallace. That's a tying run at first base. Trying to script that out and using your bench.
Early here, being the 7th inning, changes that decision. Maybe Jerko will make it easy for him and tie into one.
Well, we've seen at times that they've used Andrew Kashner. Nothing against Brett Wallace, but you want to have some speed, especially at first base. This is a small ballpark, but you shoot the gaps, and you're going to want to score from first base.
Pete McCannon, the manager, interim manager, comes in. They're going to do a double switch here. Going to yank Williams and They send Jeff Francoeur out to right field. In the double switch, Brown comes out. And we'll go to these important words.
Catch a special college football road edition of SD Live coming to you from the campuses of San Diego State and the University of San Diego, Tuesday after Padres Live on Fox Sports San Diego.
New pitcher for the Phillies is Luis Garcia. The right-hander making his 59th appearance of the year with a 3.38 ERA.
Fastball slider combination, and the fastball reaches up to 98 miles an hour. He has some run and sink, but is very inconsistent with the movement. But a big arm.
Walks allowed him in. Jeff Francoeur takes over in right field, put him in the 9th spot at the batting order for the Phils. First and third for Jerko. Ball one. Slider. First pitch from Garcia. Barmes at third. The tying run. Wallace at first. Ground ball under the glove of Galvis, and the run scores. It's 4-3 as Jerko delivers, and the Padres are within one. RBI number 38 for Jed.
Well, here's Jed Jerko, and he hunts that fastball because he takes the previous pitch, the slider. Drives this through the 5.5 hole for the RBI.
And that brings up the Padres' top RBI man, number 5 in the National League, Matt Kemp. Has a single. Popped up, safe on an error, scored a run, has stolen a base tonight. Ball one. Starts him with a slider in the dirt, just as he did Jerko. 4-3 Phillies.
Well, what's important here is Brett Wallace on second base. You have to get a good secondary lead. Second baseman Darnell Sweeney is holding him on and holding him close, but secondary lead's got to be good. You got to be off.
And all the outfield arms are strong for Philadelphia, and because the ballpark's small, they usually get to the ball closer to home plate, and that's why we've had a couple, well, actually 3 on both sides, plays bang bang at home plate tonight. Late on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-2.
Well, a little easier if you're the base runner on second base now with 2 strikes. As soon as you see that swing of Matt Kemp starting, you can really force your momentum towards third base a little bit easier. You'll have to hold your ground.
Shortstop Galvis is way over in the hole. Wallace has a big lead. Another ball in the dirt, 2-2. Justin Upton would be next. 2 on, 2 out. A run home here in the Padres 7th. Cut the Philly lead to 4-3. Slider gets Kemp, inning over. But the Padres do get a run. Stretch half of the 7th, a 1-run game. San Diego Lexus dealer. And by Petco, what we feed them matters. Stretch half of the 7th here in Philadelphia, 4-3 Phillies lead. And Sean Kelly out of the bullpen for the Padres.
Sean Kelly since May 17th has posted a .82 whip. That's walks and hits per innings pitched. That's 36.2 innings pitched, 2 2/3. He's been much better, and that slider has been a wipeout.
His number is good against both lefties and righties. Galvis leads off and lines out on a hop to Yonder Alonso. Hard hit ball. One away on one pitch. And you're enjoying this game in magnificent HD presented by Sony. Jeff Rancourt inserted in the double switch. Came into the game last night as a pinch hitter and rifled a double into the left field corner to knock in a run. Scored later himself.
Now, Dick talked to Frenchie down at batting practice today, and he said he's really embraced his role here. The Philadelphia Phillies being a veteran presence, but also they have Matt Stairs, who does TV here at times, a very good guy off the bench that was very successful, and he's really asked him a lot of knowledge about how he handles pinch hitting. He's done a nice job. Got the double last night.
Stairs, a former Padre, left the game as the all-time pinch home run leader. And Francoeur leads all major league pinch hitters with 11 RBIs this year.
He said he really embraces being that veteran presence, especially with a lot of young talent, as we alluded to earlier in the game for the Philadelphia Phillies.
This is not a pinch hit appearance, but it's the same as being one. Just does get a piece of that.
But I think it comes down to it too, as a mentality when you're getting your at bats late in the ball game. Even in a double switch or a pinch hitting situation, it's so hard to get your body and your mind in that spot to be successful in these positions.
The defensive swing is able to spoil it. 1-2 the count remains. Leadoff hitter Cesar Hernandez next. The fanatic at work.
The best in the game. He is so good and so funny.
Trying to put the hex on Kelly. But he may have aimed at the wrong guy. As Francoeur swings and misses. Hernandez steps up. He's grounded out all 3 times.
Well, this looked like a slider out of the hands of Sean Kelly, and yes, that's it. And very well located. A nice pick by Derek Norris, striking out Francoeur.
Kelly trying to keep the Phils in check and hope that more offense comes. 4-3 Philadelphia lead. They are in the bottom of the 7th. Well, my inspiration, it was good to hear that Vin Scully, the voice of the Dodgers, will come back next year for his 67th season.
Wow.
At age 87. What would baseball be without Vin Scully? The poet laureate of our profession.
If you've ever been around Vin Scully, what a professional. Just love hearing the stories, and being in a Dodger uniform for a short period of time and spending some time with Vin Scully. He's a guy that just loves the game of baseball, and you see that passion for the longevity of his career.
It's just amazing. Two balls, 2 strikes to Hernandez. Tap foul. And a former member of the Padres family, Kevin Mather. He was head of baseball operations for 7 years in San Diego. He's now taken over as the interim GM up in Seattle.
Yeah. Jack Sorensic ends up being let go.
The attendance on this Saturday night, 20,090. That's about half the crowd that we would see on a Saturday night in past years. Swing and a miss, and Kelly gets the job done. A 1-2-3 inning with a couple of punch outs. We go to the 8th. Justin Upton will be leading it off for the Padres. They need a run to tie and 2 to take the lead. All right, Michael, don't miss that. Larry Boa, one of the bright baseball minds anywhere. Sean Kelly talking with trainer Todd Hutchison and Paul Navarro. That's not a good sign. Did his job, struck out a couple, but he's not been 100%. As Justin Upton takes strike 2. This is what the Padres need, what Upton delivered last night.
You see the location of the pitch, and it's elevated, and Justin Upton deposits this in that left center gap, only 89 miles an hour.
A ball, 2 strikes. Upton, Norris, and Alonso, the middle 3 in the order here in the top of the 8th against reliever Luis Garcia. Shift on. Only Howard on the right side of the infield. A little low, 2-2.
A lot of sliders out of the hand of Garcia. Saw that against Matt Kemp.
Got him to go after a bad pitch. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Garcia. Derek Norris, the batter. He has struck out twice and fly to center. Joaquin Benoit starts throwing in the Padre pen.
Well, this bullpen has been used a lot for the San Diego Padres, and they've done a really nice job, but they're dying for those rosters to expand, get some fresh arms up here to help them out. And when the starters don't go too deep in the ball game at times, it puts a lot of stress on those guys, and they've gone through a tough rut. Not saying those starters are not doing their job. It's just when you use that bullpen a lot, they're dying for those rosters to expand and try to get some innings out of those roster spots.
Two strikes on Norris. He was 0 for 3 last night. Struck out a couple of times. 0 for 3 tonight and a couple of punch outs. High drive to center field. That's chasing Herrera back and makes the catch at the 401 sign. Oh, the Padres have hit some balls hard that just can't get it away from center fielder Herrera. You heard a moan from the crowd when that left the bat. They thought it might be gone. So 2 outs. Yonder Alonso, RBI single in 3 trips tonight. .96-mile-an-hour fastball complementing his slider. Luis Garcia. Chopped over the mound. Charged by Galvis. And gets Alonso by a hair at first base on a bang-bang play. A 1-2-3 inning. The Padres go in the 8th. It's still 4-3 Philadelphia. Let's see if manager Murphy is going to challenge the call at first base. Apparently he is.
I think this is a good decision to try to challenge it, especially this game. You see him not a good exchange, and it looks like.
Well, that's close. Yeah, when he bobbled the ball, didn't field it cleanly, Galvis. It was tough enough charging that chopper over the mound. Get another look at it as the men back in New York are making their decision. Right here, a little bobble, and then that gave Alonso a chance. Now, this will be better. When does the ball land in the back of the glove? Right there, and Alonso's foot's on the bag.
Yeah, it looks like that's a I'd be surprised if that's ruled. And you see Ryan Howard with 2 hands catching that ball and not extending his hand. And they do indeed call him safe.
So they didn't take long at all to make that decision. So a good challenge by Pat Murphy, the manager. See how they score it, whether that's an infield hit or an error. They're going to.
Well, watch Ryan Howard on this play, and he catches it with 2 hands. He doesn't extend that glove hand out and catch it at its farthest point.
So in a 4-3 game, the tying run is on with 2 outs, and Melvin Upton Jr. is the batter.
Alexi Amarista is in the batter's box.
Official score is yet to post whether that was a hit or an error. Meanwhile, Amarista hits for Upton. Melvin was 1 for 3, an RBI single. They give Alonso an infield hit. So Yonder 2 for 4 tonight. One and one to Amarista. Hitting .210 on the year. Outfield doubles defense. All 3 men are back. And he shoots that one to left field. Alonso will jog to second and hold there as Altuve gets it in. So a couple of singles here with 2 away in the 8th inning. Tying run aboard. Clint Barmes is scheduled. They've called him back.
It's like Corey Spangenberg is coming out of the dugout. A lot of lefties on the bench for Pat Murphy. 4 lefties and 1 righty, Hedges.
So a couple of pinch singles. Wallace delivered, and now Amarista tonight. 2 outs here in the 8th inning, a 4-3 game. Alonso carrying the tying run, Amarista the go-ahead score. Spangenberg with a chance to do some damage.
Well, no one up in the Phillies bullpen, so pitching coach Bob McClure will go out and go over a scouting report against Corey Spangenberg. It's a team meeting at the mound.
Spangenberg hitting .259 on the season as a pinch hitter. .250 is average, 4 for 16. And 1 RBI. Using his legs for base hits here on this road trip. Couple of infield hits, 1 a bunt single, a big bunt single in Washington. But this isn't the time to bunch your way on. Try to find a gap. You heard a smattering of applause in the background. Travis Jankowski is out of the dugout on deck. That ball gets away, and both runners will advance. That's a big wild pitch. Now the tying run at third and the go-ahead score at second.
Well, to your point, Dick, the wild pitch now puts the runners on second and third. You can see Rupp doesn't have an opportunity because that's a spiked slider. The wild pitch advances the runners, and now you have to elevate that slider.
Puts more pressure with that runner at third base. Now a single could give the Padres the lead. Late swing on the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. So should Spangenberg keep it going? Travis Jankowski with some 64 tickets left for his wedding party friends would be the hitter.
Wouldn't that be a great story?
It sure would. Ooh, in the dirt, and Rupp able to block that one.
Well, Rupp anticipated that slider and did a nice job blocking that, keeping it in front.
Well, based on what I've been listening from you, Mark Sweeney, if I'm Corey Spangenberg, I'm looking fastball now.
Yeah, you got to look fastball, and you saw the movement on the fastball that he swung through on the 1-0 pitch.
Garcia has bounced his slider 3 times here.
DeFreitas and Lowen warming up in the Phillies bullpen.
Takes the fastball right down the middle. 2-2. Well, it wasn't down the middle, but on the edge. 2-2. Philly fans trying to help Garcia out of this spot. Tying and go-ahead scores in position.
See if he goes back to that slider.
Struck him out on, looked like a changeup. Maybe it was a curveball, but nevertheless, inning over. Spangenberg, the pinch hitter, strikes out. Padres leave 2 men in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-3. When the inning ended, so he'll probably pinch hit in the 9th inning. The word is out. The Jankowski fan club are going to run back into position.
He has gone to center field, and the Fatheads have gone out there as well.
Jankowski takes over in center field and will bat first in the top of the 9th inning. As Joaquin Benoit comes in to work the bottom of the 8th. And will face Herrera, Altair, and Howard.
Well, Joaquin Benoit has been excellent out of the bullpen. His 57th appearance this year. Great splits, both lefties and righties.
162 for left-handers, only 132 for right-handed batters. And the Padres with a chance there in the top of the 8th. Herrera is lined to third and grounded out twice tonight. Padres have out-hit the Phillies 8-6. Phillies have made them count. 5 of their 6 hits came in their scoring innings. Changeup. And Maurice at short, Jankowski in center. Right back at it tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego. James Shields goes for his 10th win against young Alec Asher, Major League debut. Another young arm facing the Padres. 1-1 to the 23-year-old Herrera.
Well, nice work out of the bullpen for the Padres tonight. Kevin Quackenbush, a clean inning. Also, Sean Kelly with the 2 strikeouts in his inning of work.
That's foul ball. Line drive right into the Jankowski fan club.
You knew where they were going to get a souvenir. See if Joaquin goes to that changeup.
Ground ball sharply. Solarte to his left and throws him out. 0 for 4 night for Odubel Herrera. Aaron Altuve comes up. Flamethrower, Cholula hot sauce.
That's 96, and that's hot sauce from the arm of Joaquin Benoit. And do you know where I can get a cheesesteak around this place?
Well, you might be able to find one, but that Cholula hot sauce will really make it tasty.
That would be good.
Altair singled his last time, 1 for 3, and drives that one slicing foul down the right field line. Yeah, a fan sitting out in that right field corner and says, I think I'm going to take my ball glove to the game tonight. You never know. That ball jumping off the bat of Altair. Slider there. 0-2.
That was a good slider.
Now Washington has defeated Miami, so the Nationals move within 5.5 of the Mets in the East. Swing and a miss.
Now there's that changeup. Showed him a fastball, showed him the slider on the second pitch, and then the changeup to put him away.
Ryan Howard singled and scored back in the second. He singled leading off, and Darnell Sweeney followed with a home run to left center. He has lined out and struck out since. Shift on. Jerko out in shallow right. Solarte moves over behind second on the right side of the infield. Amory still alone on the left side. Ken Giles, who is now the closer for Philadelphia with Papelbon on to Washington.
Well, he was not available last night. He pitched 2 1/3 against that 13-inning win for the New York Mets the previous night.
1-1. Yeah, that Toronto win today, 15-1. Blue Jays are now 23-6.
Wow.
In the last 29 games.
Well, you go back to the trading deadline, and throughout that locker room just gaining confidence, and they played great. Since then, it's a dangerous club. You touched on the offense, but also adding David Price. They're making it very interesting in the East.
Texas making it interesting in the wild card race. They lead 4-3 tonight against Baltimore at home, and then they're going to head to San Diego starting Monday night. 2-2. See down on the farm, Hunter Renfroe, the Padres' top draft pick a couple of years ago at El Paso. In 9 games, he's hit 4 home runs. He's got a hot bat. Wonderful to see him in September.
Talked to Alonzo Powell, the assistant hitting coach, about Hunter Renfroe, and he's very excited of how he's adapted to that new level.
Full count now to Ryan Howard. Young Sweeney, a home run to the opposite field that got the Phils on the board 2-0 in the second against starter Colin Ray.
.97 miles an hour on that fastball by Joaquin.
He does have an arsenal. Now, is he a free agent at the end of the year?
I think so.
Giles is ready. Looks like we're going to see him in the 9th. Changeup.
See if he has that good arm speed on this.
And it sails outside. A rare walk for Ryan Howard. Only the 25th time he's walked all year.
As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag SDDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Yeah, Suzanne, thank you. One of the Padre mascots. So Sweeney gets another at bat. 2-run homer, a ground out, and a walk tonight. And he rolls this one to Jerko. An easy play, and the inning's over. Last call for the Padres. They'll lead it off with Jankowski.
Fan Diego fans of the game, and this is Chelsea and Daniel. They're from San Diego, here on their honeymoon, and they were actually in Washington, D.C. as well. They went to all 3 games there, going to all 3 games in Philly, here enjoying their honeymoon. They also are wearing personalized jerseys that say bride and groom on the back. So congratulations, Chelsea and Daniel, the newlyweds.
That's great. We should,
welcome, and thank you for coming and sharing this time with us on the road.
And Chris, go buy them a bottle of champagne or something and thank them and congratulate them on their honeymoon. Or just a Philly cheesesteak might suffice. That's great. Ken Giles, become the closer. This is his 58th appearance. He's saved 10 games. .221 average against him.
And we saw him in San Diego closing out games. This is a big arm. He can get up to triple digits. Sits right around 98 miles an hour.
Jankowski leads it off. Takes ball 1. Hernandez moves from third to second base for Sweeney. Blanco in at third. There they are, bride and groom. 2-0.
Now, when you have a big fastball like Giles does, it's fastball slider for him. But in this situation, I think he's taking, Jankowski is taking in this situation. You need a base runner.
That's a strikeout at strike at 97. 2-1 to Jankowski. Look at the Jankowski group. Isn't they great? The wedding last night, a relative of Travis. They all stayed around for the game tonight. 3-1. Try to get on there, carrying the tie and run. Padres trying to break this 6-game losing streak here in Philadelphia and try to get a win against the Phils this year. They're 0-4 after the Phillies swept in Petco.
Wouldn't be surprised if he took here too. You don't want to take on the closers, but in this situation, why not?
And the strike again, 97.
See all the fans out there in the left corner. They're all excited, but Travis Jankowski, a leadoff hitter in the minor leagues, doesn't mind getting to that 3-2 count.
Oh, sharply hit, but right to the second baseman. Hernandez, who had just moved over there, one away. Let's go to our Bill Howe play of the game. Herrera in center field has been all over the place, and he takes an extra base hit away from Justin Upton. A big play in this game. That would have been a run, and Upton would have been in scoring position as Kemp was aboard on that sharp drive to left center. Solarte just missed a home run last time up with a couple of men on. All the way to the auxiliary scoreboard in right field. So he's 0 for 3 tonight. In the air all 3 times. Fouled out and flied out twice. Ground ball. Arranging Hernandez. 2 away. Again, a reminder, tomorrow morning we'll be back with you at 10 o'clock in San Diego, here on Fox Sports San Diego with James Shields. 9-6 on the mound for the Padres, and we'll see the Major League debut of Alex Asher, just called up from the minor leagues. We'll be right back here at Citizens Bank Park on Getaway Day, the final game of this 6-game road trip. Jerko, last man standing for the Padres. Ball 1. Singled in a run the last time up. 1 for 4 tonight. And when that comes down, it'll be Herrera making another catch, and the Phillies with another win. Can you believe it? The last place Phillies have won 5 out of 5 against the Padres this year. A 1-run win tonight. Final, Phils 4, Padres 3. Here's Mike Pomerantz.